You ever had a partner in crime? Well, I learned early in life that a partner in crime could wind up having you do time. So let's get into this story. Now, this was very early in life, and it led me to know that maybe crime is not the way to go. I'm being facetious here. I was always the nerdy goody two shoes, but every once in a while, even the best of us can find ourselves in trouble. And this particular case, you know how you think you can trust a friend? Well, sometimes, but you definitely think you can trust your family member to keep a secret that only the two of you know and no one else will ever find out. In this particular case, it was near the holidays, the Christmas holiday, actually. And you know how all the festivities go into preparing the food, getting ready for company, cleaning the house, all of these things that were being done. Now, my regular viewers know that I come from a family of six children. So my mother had six kids. So all of us had our chores to do and things like that. But I have to tell you something. My mother would bake the best sweet potato pies in the world. And she made different kinds. There would be some with pecans on the top and some with walnuts and then some with nothing, just straight delicious sweet potato pie. And of course, we all loved it. And she would make them the night before the holiday, so that way the next day she's not, taking a lot of time with trying to get pies done, which was fine. Well, you probably guessed it. On this particular night, I decided to sneak downstairs and just get a tiny slice of one of the sweet potato pies. Not tiny enough that you wouldn't see it, because, of course, you can tell when pie has been sliced. But one of my siblings came downstairs with me. She was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, geez. Now I either have to let her in on this whole thing or go back to bed without sneaking sweet potato pie," which simply wasn't an option for me. So the two of us decided that we would both take just like little slivers, not enough for anyone to like really be angry about, but you know, something for us to taste. Well, we did that, and this pie was so delicious that we decided to take just another small sliver. So the two of us got a little bit more of the sweet potato pie. Now, I have to tell you, we did this at about 2 or 2:30 in the morning, okay? So keep that in mind because that's a key part of this whole tale. Well, as you can guess, we went back upstairs, went to bed, acted like we hadn't done anything mischievous or mischievous, how some people pronounce it. Well, the next day, of course, my mom goes into the kitchen, and the first thing she notices is, there's a sweet potato pie that's been partaken of. And I wasn't downstairs at the time, but my sibling that had th- completed this act with me was. And so my mom said, "Okay, which one of you guys cut into this pie last night?" My sister, who's a complete rollover, said, "I did. It was Sherry's idea." My mother was like, "Sherry's idea? Like, did that mean you have to do it too?" But she didn't go there. She said, "What do you mean?" And she said, "Well, we saw the pies last night and we decided to, taste a little bit." So my mother, being my mother, of course, you have six kids, you never know who's telling the fib or if they're just trying to get someone else in trouble with them. So she calls me downstairs and she asks, "Did you eat some sweet potato pie last night?" Now, technically, since it was 2:30 in the morning, I, I said, "No, I hadn't eaten any pie last night." So then the sibling comes up, "Yes, you did. We both ate it. You know we did." And I looked at my mom and I said, "I didn't eat any sweet potato pie last night. I ate some early this morning." Now, if there are any baby boomers watching this, you already know your parents didn't go for that. technically it was the next day crap. So me and my sibling had to face the consequences. First of all, I don't even think it was the consequences, to be honest with you, of taking or tasting the pie. For me, it was the consequence of not being truthful about it. Because even though I said it wasn't last night, which it wasn't, I was trying to circumvent, how they say, half truth is a whole lie. So I think that was the lesson, life lessons learned, right? That my mother wanted to teach me was that don't try to, use a technicality to lie your way out of something. So that lesson, well, should I really say it's a lesson? Because we shouldn't be sneaking and stealing and doing all of that anyway. But I learned right then and there that if I'm ever going to do anything mischievous or skirting the line of legalities in my life, I would do that kind of stuff alone. That way I don't have to worry about someone turning the tables on me, going rogue and telling the truth, or getting a sudden urge of consciousness and coming out with the truth. Now, don't get me wrong, I wasn't, well, I was at first upset with my sibling. But, when you look at the grand picture of things and, well, the grand picture, the grand scheme of things, you're like, but was she wrong? No, because you were the one in the wrong. So I always take lessons, even in my youth, as what I should have done, what I could have done, um, what is the right thing to do. And those are the ways that I've always begun to adapt lessons in my life and apply them in other areas of my life where applicable. So, and that one, that was a partner in crime that, trust me, I never did anything with that sibling again. Actually, with any of my others, like I said, I just kind of said, if I'm gonna be sneaky or do something, no one's gonna know about it. So, this is life lessons learned. You guys know my mantra. Knowledge is in the knowing, but wisdom is in the doing. And the learning of a lesson is the application of it. So, as we learn lessons in life, we want to apply them to all areas in our lives wherever it's applicable and do so in a dedicated, committed way so that we know that this lesson has been learned and that we've enjoyed the fruits of having learned the lesson. So I would like for you guys to share times when you had a partner in crime and either they foiled it for you or maybe that secret is still within the two or three of you and no one else knows. Of course, unless you post it. So no names, please. Please like. If you feel inclined, please subscribe. This is Sherry Brantley. This is Life Lessons Learned, and I'll see you guys on the next video. That one is going to be the second time that I had a partner in crime, and this one had to do with a school event. So, of course, I learned no partners in crime, friends, neighbors, relatives. And that's just another short video of me learning lessons early in life. I'll talk to you later. Bye.